Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, January 10th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarification points. Number one, the candlestick that you see over here will still be moving around. That is because the market's open for a small amount of time still, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol CUTR, and this had a very, very nice move today and has now formed a good solid pattern here. So I want to get this pattern here mapped out. So bottom part of this pattern, what I would consider the area of support right here around the $4.15 mark. So let's change this here to green to represent the support dynamic. And then from resistance viewpoint, have this trend line right there. So let me change that to red for resistance. And then maybe to change this all to one color to keep it easier to see, we have our resistance, we have our support. We have the big explosive move right there. And then for you golfers out there trying to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be known as a bull pennant pattern. And while nothing is guaranteed, is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price comes up here and breaks up through the top of that part and that part of the pattern there, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull pennant patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, SNTG. Very, very interesting situation here now that we have, first off, to set up a bit of context, big gap up, which you can see here, and then opening 30 minutes, the price dropped on quite a bit and then kept dropping. But this is where things get interesting because the price finally started to go sideways. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say this, the trading was this easy. Just because the price started to go sideways here with the sideways bottoming out point right there about $3.27. But just because it's gone sideways does not mean that for sure, guaranteed, without question, this thing is getting ready to head back upwards. Now, is it more plausible? Is it more rational to think that in this situation? Absolutely. Case in point, let's just say that the price, when it got here, it just kept dropping. At that point, if I was saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom and this thing's getting ready to turn around, you would say, well, based on what? What are you even talking about? The price is literally going straight down. But that's not the case here, right? The price has at least started to go sideways. So again, does that mean that this is a for sure guaranteed bottom? No. Is it a little bit more plausible that this thing maybe is getting ready to turn back around? Absolutely becomes more plausible. In terms of areas of resistance, key level to keep an eye on right there around the 375 mark. So again, let me change that to red for resistance. But all in all, strong start, got the pullback. Now you have some sideways movement. So is this thing getting ready to curl back upwards? We'll see what happens. Next one here, ticker symbol AMD, and this thing is back to being very, very strong as it continues to put in these higher lows, and then it's putting in these higher highs. So from that angle of things, I mean, you can't really ask for any more. That's the type of situation you want to see, and that is what's been going on. To add a little bit more context, because the price is now starting to approach this very key level up here, which is where I want to start things off at that area of resistance up here at that level, which is up around the 151-ish mark, give or take a little bit. But that is just simply where the price got rejected from, several days ago when it got up around that area right there. So if this upwards move continues, that'll certainly be the next battleground. And that does provide, a very valid question of if the price does get up there, will that be some sort of double top? Will it pull back from that area? I'm not going to say just full, flat out reverse around. But could you get some sort of pullback if it gets up there because of that double top? Potential, very, very reasonably a scenario there. But, I mean, it is AMD, so the price could also, I think, just as reasonable to get up to that level and then just bust up through it. So definitely keep an eye on that dynamic there as it's an important area to watch. And then in terms of areas of support, if you like to play more so pullbacks, I think one of the more interesting pullback levels now is down at that level where the price found some support this morning, right down there at the $145 mark. But all in all, AMD looking very strong. Next one here, ticker symbol TLRY. Very, very nasty looking move today as the price gapped up, ran all the way up and got as high as that point right there. And then I think that there were some poor souls that bought right there. Hopefully they had stop losses because after that, as I'm sure you're well aware of, the price just completely collapsed back downwards. But the location of where it collapses, where this thing gets interesting from a technical standpoint. So if I just use these points here and draw a trend line across here, you can see that the price is essentially right at this support trend line. So just highlight and go through where this area has been relevant, but you can see right there by using these 2 points, did a fantastic job of forecasting that area of support. And then, like I said earlier, that's right where the price is now, right at that level. So the question mark in my mind, at least, is, okay, is history going to repeat itself? Is the price going to get some sort of bounce where it heads back upwards? As I've said, no guarantees, but it's certainly a plausible scenario. If the price does bounce, then that first key level of resistance you're going to want to watch very closely, right up there, that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. So yes, today individually, an absolute train wreck, but now looking at multiple days as we're doing here, from a technical standpoint, provides an interesting situation. Next one here, AMC, and for those of you that watched yesterday's video, that has all now been thrown aside because yesterday's video was built around the premise that, okay, the price has been showing some signs of progress, and the sign of progress, quote unquote, was defined by that trend line right there. But you can see opening 30 minutes here, price came down, broke through that level, and then the rest is history. The momentum has picked back up. Whoops, that's not what I meant to select. There we go. The momentum has picked back up, and now this thing is sitting essentially right there at the lows of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of each of these levels as they serve their purpose for now and map out the newest area of resistance. And this is just based on a foundational rule which states, so I'm going to get this level right there at that level at $5, and we'll call it 10 cents. But when levels of support are broken, they do tend to act as resistance. So from green to red here. So if there is any sort of attempted turnaround back here, $5.10 is going to be that initial area of resistance. If the price can push up through there, next key level after that will be that purple line there, 50 period moving average. And then in terms of areas of support, it's one of those situations where you just got to use your gut instincts because we are at all-time lows. So there's just no other data that you can look back on and say, okay, well, it's bounced from there before, so maybe that's where it could potentially bounce or find some buyers. We have none of that data right now, so that's why I say you're kind of just flying blind. And, as I speak, and that's why I like to do this when the market's open, but you can see this thing is just pushing down to new lows as of now. So we're all aware this thing closed. We'll see. Market still closes, or market's got about 13 minutes left, but yeah, not a good day at all. Real quick, wanted to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online web class there that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for this free live online class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, TSLA, Tesla, and a rough day here, not necessarily because it was a red day, but because the price had been doing such a good job of at least going sideways, at least acting like, okay, sideways channel here, maybe this is finally some sort of bottom. Had a strong day yesterday, and then today came down not only to the bottom of the channel, but as you can see right there, broke down through it. So just not a good day at all, especially when you consider the NASDAQ had a good day today, but not Tesla. And that's where the first update comes into play, which you now have heard. When levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So moving forward now, right up there, 236.30 will be that main area of resistance. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. And then in terms of areas of support, nothing fancy here other than just asking a very basic question. Where did the bleeding finally stop today? And that was down there at 232. So 232 for that reasoning alone is what I would consider an area of support. And then from a technical standpoint, yes, you had this little movement upwards like that, but in all actuality, all we have now is a bear pennant pattern. Now, just because something's bullish does not mean the price is going to go upwards. So the same is true here. Just because you have a bearish pattern doesn't mean for sure guaranteed this price is headed down to those lows, if not even lower. But also, I wouldn't be shocked by it either. But yeah, anyway, look at it. Not a good day for Tesla. Next one, ticker symbol GOEV, and very, very rough day. Basically, a total gap and trap when you combine where it was just yesterday. And again, hopefully people use stop loss because, that's a true story. There were some people buying up around that area, and it's definitely down a lot lower. So a good real-life lesson there on why you want to use stop loss and risk management. So yes, it's been a gap and trap, but with all that being said, it's now potentially producing another sort of technical pattern because if this thing bleeds a little bit more, then down here around 20.5 cents is a very interesting area. How so? Well, the last time the price was down around here, you can see that after it found some buyers, had a very, very nice move. Now, I'm by no means saying it's going to be that big of a spike, but even if it was something like that, from a percentage standpoint, that could be a very nice move. So that's my long way of saying if you are somebody and one of your patterns that you like to play are double bottoms, you like penny stocks, then who knows? Does this thing drop down there and then get another bottom? Because we already have bottom number one here. So can this be bottom number two? That remains to be seen. Like I said, if you like these situations, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, NIO, and the downtrend continues and had a nice little pattern here, but ultimately never played out. It gapped down below it, so at least it was one of those patterns where it's not like it broke to the upside, acted like it wanted to be strong, and then fell apart. That one just completely fell apart on its own, but whoops, there's another older line. But nonetheless, want to get another level mapped out here, and this is just more so curiosity. No, I'm glad I did that, because you can see right now that's essentially right where the price is at. So looking here, you can see that as time has gone by, that trend line has done a good job of forecasting where potential areas of support are. So now we have that same general idea right here. The price is at the lower part of that trend line. So is this indeed the start of a bigger bounce? Is this thing going to get turned around? We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, certainly an interesting dynamic here with the price literally right at that support line. If the price does bounce, then from an overarching standpoint, the key level you're going to want to keep a close eye on is that 50-period moving average. But yeah, no doubt about it, from a bigger picture standpoint, definitely a downtrend. But within the downtrend, we have a nice little trend line here that's revealed itself. So can the price bounce? We'll see what happens. Next one here, NVIDIA, NVDA, and what a monster move this thing. Well, it started yesterday with the opening 30 minutes you can see right there, and then consolidated, and then today really came to life and went straight up for a while. Although as of now, it's finally decided to act human a little bit, as there is a bit of a downwards, movement right here with it. But in all actuality, yeah, it's pulled back here. But from a pattern standpoint, you got to ask yourself, well, what was going on before this downwards channel here? And you had this very nice move up like that. So in other words, all I've done here is drawn a bull flag pattern. So yes, bull flag pattern would be, the best way to summarize today individually. But just to build more context, you can see this is also all occurring in a very strong upwards move. In terms of areas of resistance, there definitely revealed itself to be quite a bit of sellers right up here around this area at $540. Now, I realize the price did technically go up above there, as you can see right there, but still from just a broader congestion point, does seem to be, for whatever reason, quite a bit of congestion right up here around that area. So if there is any sort of attempted recovery, then 540 certainly public enemy number one. Next one here, ticker symbol TQQQ, and this is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to go up, this one will also go up, and it makes it a very popular ETF. And this will also mean a little bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video. But if you did, then hopefully you remember me talking there about that pink line, the 200-period moving average, and how, that would be a key area of resistance, and you just can't make this stuff up. Right up there, what a coincidence, right where the price started to struggle at that pink line there. Now, our chart's perfect there or not, but there's certainly a worthwhile tool, so I'll turn that into a quick little plug. Go get signed up for that free class and learn more about just how beneficial technical charts can be. But point here being, moving forward, nothing has changed from a resistance standpoint compared to yesterday's video. Still going to be all about that 200-period moving average. Only difference is we got a little bit more confirmation with that level now acting as resistance. But like what we just looked at, what was that, AMD? No, that wasn't AMD. What did we just look at that was really strong? I don't remember. The one we just looked at, that was a bull flag pattern, but same situation here. Yeah, you have the price now with the, NVDA, sorry, NVIDIA. Yeah, you got this downwards movement right here, but what was happening before it? Well, you had this nice upwards move here. So in and of itself, TQQ is within a bull flag pattern itself. So the big question mark going forward is, can this bull flag get the breakout? And with the breakout, can it get above that 200-period moving average? So we'll see what happens. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, then get signed up for that class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, January 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Tell me what you traded today. Give me your watches for tomorrow. But those things help out the channel. They communicate to me that you enjoy. And as long as you know you're enjoying, I will continue to put in the time and effort to get this content out to you. So get signed up for that class. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.